everybody, and welcome to Awesome Comics, your one-stop shop for everything comic book entertainment. Today, we're talking about the controversial adaptation of The Killing Joke. Today, on the panel, we have three lovely people. We're going to go with Aiyanna first. Aiyanna Wade, what's up?
That's me. How's it going?
You excited to at least talk about this?
I'm excited to talk about it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I was very excited to see it.
Yeah.
We all know we've been talking about it for a while, how excited we were, and I know me was excited. Me was excited.
Me was excited.
Good one. Excited for all of the Batgirl.
And we'll get into that in a moment. Heather Roos, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much, I have feelings about this.
Yeah, I saw your Twitter post about it, and there's a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss that in 1 second. And, of course, my pal, your pal, Mr. Bryan Porter.
What's up?
What did you overall think of it? Give me a little thing here.
I loved it.
He loved it, and we're going to discuss now. Okay, everybody.
Welcome back.
The first thing, we're going to change this up a little bit from how we usually do this. We're going to talk about specific subjects here. So, Aiyanna, you're going to lead this first discussion, and it is about the 30-minute prologue. Prologue is not 30 minutes. It's not supposed to be 3 minutes. But yes,
That's basically what it is, because everyone came to see this as The Killing Joke, but as people who have read the comic know, that's not really long enough to make into a 75-minute animated film. So they had to add filler, and that's exactly what it felt like. I was extremely disappointed in the Batgirl story in general. I personally don't ship Bruce and Barb.
Nope.
I don't.
Really
but everyone's.
I think the only person who does is Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm does. Man, I got you. I got my ships like that too. They ain't gonna happen. But like, if I had control over it, they would happen. I feel you. I got you. I understand that. But it didn't feel like there was any sort of explanation or any sort of tension at all, other than Barbara's whining and pining after her hot for teacher feelings, and it was unbearable for me.
Yes.
It just didn't seem grounded. It felt hollow. There was no tension at all. I did not like it. There was no buildup except that fight, and that I don't think was even a good sexy fight. Like, if you're gonna fight and then bang, like, at least, like, I don't know, give me something.
Sexy fight.
Mr.
Right?
and Mrs. Smith it.
Yeah, exactly. That was, yeah. The gay best friend.
So awful, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It got to that point where it was so bad that
So
everyone in the theater when I saw it was dying at the line, like, girl, I thought gay relationships were hard. Really? Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted so much to like the Batgirl story, and I didn't.
Yeah.
It was awful. All it did, like I said, was establish that, like, Babs it messes everything up. It was like just her constantly being like, oh, I messed that up. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, Batman, please, like, help me.
Bring me a coffee.
Bring me a coffee.
Yeah, people did laugh in the theater.
My
when
theater.
they brought the coffee.
First,
Random bat bucks. Yeah.
It had no
It's like
connection
my
to
Stark
anything.
bucks that I really want.
Yay!
Right.
But yeah, that would be something we actually want.
Yeah, and Bat Bucks I could do.
Right. I mean, I guess my issue with that whole prologue is, I mean, I know it is a prologue before the actual movie gets started.
Right.
But a prologue is like 10 minutes max. This was almost half the movie was this Batgirl story, which is completely separate. Like I was on board.
It was separate. That's my problem. It's like a prologue is fine as long as it ties in. And even a long one I'd be fine with. But like, okay, so we're building it up, and like now Bruce has a reason to be so upset at the Joker for doing this to Barbara. Like, okay, I'm feeling you. It's now your girlfriend. There's even more tension, and then they break it off and they like are like, and we're done. That was the last time I was Batgirl. Here's The Killing Joke, guys. Enjoy. Like, that's
by the way, an oracle at the end.
Yeah.
Weird. Just that whole thing, how it was handled, just was not. I don't know what they were thinking, man. Like,
you know what I did like in the prologue that I felt like was getting somewhere and then like didn't really get anywhere was Franz Paris.
That was the stupidest
What a great
name.
Oh my God.
What a terrible name, right? But there was the whole scene where he like bangs a hooker with like the pillowcase as the Batgirl cowl. Whoa,
That was
super
crazy.
dark, super awesome. That was probably my favorite part of the prologue is
Yeah.
the hooker begging. You can quote me on that. No, it was like so dark, and I was like, oh, this is
wanted me to wear
going
this
somewhere.
mask
What
and
a
like
what a
pussy- yeah,
really
that was-
really creepy like
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
That's
He's obsessed
cool.
with her.
We're adding some real
That's
depth.
great. Like, put that in a separate Batgirl movie, though. You know what I mean?
Or I don't know. It didn't end up going
I was
anywhere. He made a
excited when they-
period joke, and then she kicked his butt, and it was
That
done.
was that.
That was
I
it.
know. I was
She
like,
saw the abyss.
I was getting really worried that they were going to set it up completely different and that he was going to end up being the Joker.
That's what I was thinking,
was
too.
like-
I was like, this
like,
is not
dear
Mark
God.
Hamill's voice, but he's got like this chin thing, and I'm like, this kind
Yes.
of looks like the Joker.
Like, if this is where this goes, I'm
Yeah.
done. I am done with
Yeah.
this movie.
Oh, yeah.
If you are completely rebooting it and this is the Joker, I'm
Yeah.
done.
I agree with you. Yeah, I was excited when they first announced like this prologue of Batgirl. I was like, that's really cool because Batgirl is a great character. I mean,
Right.
Barbara Gordon. So like setting that up beforehand, what happens to her in this, which is kind of her defining moment. I mean, like that's cool to get a little bit of build up.
Yeah.
I was expecting like 10 minutes that would tie into the rest of the story though, and this was a full half an hour that didn't have anything to do with the main story in this. And that's, like we said, doesn't make any sense. Why you would do that, I don't understand. I get that Bruce Timm really likes, like we're talking about Batgirl and Batman, going back to Batman Beyond, hinting at them having a relationship and stuff, but it just doesn't flow with this whatsoever. And with all the minds behind this, like trying so hard to make this great, I don't understand how that could have slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
Right.
See, my thing with it was, going in, I knew that they had the prologue to, make it the feature length. And I was cool with that. I knew what it was about. I was like, okay, cool.
You can fluff it up, sure, a little bit.
If it works, if it's good, I'm
Right.
on board. If it doesn't, I don't give a shit because there's only gonna be one time that I have to watch that, and that's in the theaters. When I get this on DVD,
Oh, just skip
I
it.
will skip it,
Yeah.
and I will only watch The Killing Joke. So I don't give a shit. Like, I did not care. Okay, it wasn't as good as I hoped it had been. Whatever. We're on to The Killing Joke, and I forget about the prologue. It doesn't matter to me. It's inconsequential. Like
It is inconsequential, and that's why you
And
should be
that's
angry.
why it's,
No, I
that's
don't care.
not a
Because
good
that's the
thing.
whole
How do you
point.
not?
That's a
My
part of
my
the
whole
movie.
thing was to see The Killing Joke, and I saw The Killing
But
Joke.
it's a part of the movie.
But it doesn't
That-
have
that
to be.
has-
It doesn't have to be.
But it is.
But it is. You're arguing facts.
Exactly.
It
It took
doesn't
me
make
out of the
any
movie. I was
sense.
so mad about the prologue that even when they started Killing Joke, I didn't even care. I was like, oh, here's the real story, but I don't even care because I'm so mad
Because
about
Batgirl
this piece
just
of
had
shit
sex
that I
with
just
Batman on the
watched.
roof.
Like,
Because that was so ridiculous. It's like, who even gives a shit? That was weird. I don't need. I don't
Everybody
care.
gives a shit
No.
because everybody doesn't like it.
When we all get it on DVD, you go to watch it again. You just.
I'm
skip
probably
straight
not going to watch it that much now, honestly, because
Just-
that's kind of
I'm so
tainted
mad
it a
about
little
it.
bit.
No,
Like, I don't even wanna
no.
support it.
I don't get how
you
it
should, though.
this taints it because it's like it doesn't
Because
have
it's in
to.
the movie.
It's in the movie.
You don't
yeah,
pick
but-
and choose what is and isn't in the movie.
But it wasn't in the book, so I don't care. My focus. But it wasn't in the book, so I don't care. When I heard that The Killing Joke was
wish
going
this
to
was
be
vodka. I'm
in
my popcorn
the
right now.
movie or as a movie, it's like okay, Killing Joke as a movie. They're adding something in the beginning. I get it. I don't give a shit. I only focus on the content.
But you're
of the
always
story.
talking about how, like, comic adaptations, like when they deviate, you get offended. Why are you not offended now? This is the one time where you
because when they actually got
Because
to
they
the Killing
didn't
Joke,
add
it
it
was
into
very
the story.
unfaithful.
They didn't add it throughout the actual Killing Joke. They're two
Okay,
separate
okay.
entities.
So if they had split it into the Killing Joke, would you be officially raged?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, you're ridiculous.
I would have been pissed off beyond belief, but The Killing Joke was a perfect adaptation.
Walter's uncomfortable.
You get
Okay.
done with the.
Okay.
Put the hand down.
That's why
now.
seriously, I'm just pulling out my
Yeah.
popcorn right now. Like,
Let's-
you two go for
Let's
it. You two go
talk
for it.
animation in the beginning then, because you don't care about the story. Did you
Oh,
like
God.
the
All
animation?
right, we're gonna go on animation. Go ahead.
in the beginning.
Nope.
It was
I was-
weird. It was
oh,
off. It
so
felt
mad.
off. It felt.
looked weird.
There were a
CGI
few
was
times
awful.
the style
beginning.
switched.
It
a
kept
couple
bugging me
times
that
it
their
kinda
their
felt like
necks
that,
kept
but-
like elongating and then shorting and then elongating and like
Really?
shorting. It was so weird.
I didn't notice
And,
that,
like,
but oh, go ahead.
It's just, it felt like the quality of animation in the beginning was less than when you actually got to the Killing Joke
Probably
portion.
because they
so
wanted to
again,
make
because
sure that
they're
the
just
Killing Joke was
sticking it
perfect.
in there, like it was so, it seemed like they didn't care about it at all. Because even the animation wasn't up to like, and I
Sure.
understand it wasn't supposed to be a theatrical release until we all demanded it.
Yeah, right.
Good job, internet. But like,
Well,
I understand
okay.
that, but even the other DC animated films have a higher standard of animation than this. Like I expected more
Some
out
of
of
them,
it.
some of them,
Or
do.
at least
I-
the same quality throughout.
Yeah, they
Yes.
might be more consistent with their animation
Yes.
style, but
Right.
quality.
I know you
more.
don't like Flashpoint. I know you don't like Flashpoint.
Or
It's just
pretty much
because it's
anything-
like anime style. It's just the
Yes.
style of it
Right,
is not
but
something
that's
I'm
not the same as the
that into.
quality.
It's
of the
not.
animation.
Right,
Yeah.
you're right. Yes,
I was
correct.
extremely disappointed in it.
Okay. See, I heard about that going into it, that the animation style
Oh,
wasn't that
really?
great. Yeah, I heard that like it was kind of like skippy and weird and stuff.
That's how it felt.
Right,
It
but
was very
didn't-
inconsistent.
But when I saw, I didn't really notice it all that much.
Okay.
I mean, like it didn't bug me. I thought it's fine, whatever. I mean,
I
I
didn't
mean,
notice
I was
it.
there for like I just wanted to see this on the screen, so like maybe I wasn't really paying attention to that as much. But I did notice like here and there. I didn't like how Batman's ears came out a little bit like horns. I thought that character model choice was kind of strange.
He was such a dick in this.
Yeah.
Batman was such a
He
dick.
was such a dick.
Like even in the Killing Joke, like which he's he is what it is in the comic, and they translated him fine. But like with the whole prologue and everything, he just ended up being so heartless. He did. He
with
really.
the Batgirl stuff, that yeah, definitely.
It
and
was
that-
so
that leads
weird
into it.
hearing Kevin Conroy, and I have that picture of him in my mind.
Yeah.
But then
Swear to me, swear to me.
that was so good.
That swear to me. No, it's like he said, swear to me. That was awesome. That was
so
great.
good.
Yeah.
But it was weird hearing Kevin Conroy then intermingling with the Batgirl drama and then them going at it. It's like, I feel uncomfortable. Because that's not the Batman. Like it was just weird.
Right.
Because what I associate to that voice, all the other Batman, it's like
Yeah.
he wouldn't do that.
That
Well, and
cape
I
and
feel
collar
like
came off in one
that
motion,
was-
by the way. That I can tell
Yeah.
you from experience. No.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that was almost an acting choice though with
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy because like Mark Hamill found a way to just make this Joker's voice just a little bit different because he knew that it was a different Joker than he
Right.
played on the series. Whereas I feel like Kevin Conroy didn't necessarily do that. He was just like, okay, this is my Batman voice.
But I don't.
I thought he was
Batman
fine with it.
voice.
I
I was
didn't-
fine with
It
it.
sounded
I didn't
good.
have
It
any
was just
problem.
weird
But
to
it was weird.
associate
Exactly.
his voice with
'Cause you
banging
associate it.
Barbara.
No,
Like,
no, you're right on
Yeah.
that. I mean,
But
yeah.
overall, I thought his
Man,
voice
that
was
scene
on
was
point.
so awkward too because they like do this
So
weird cut and he
awkward.
like grabs her butt and then like
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
what
then
is what is happening?
It
in
was
there?
not sexy, guys.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was. It was,
It was
really
messy.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like
But
not,
not,
sexy
not like a
messy.
hot messy,
Right. It was
like,
just
oh
like,
yeah, like we just gotta do this. It was like,
Oh, God.
and
Is this,
Cape
are,
and
are we
Cowl.
doing this?
Okay,
oh.
my top is off now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird. That was
We're
really
gonna
was
tilt
so
up.
awkward.
Just-
I wish they would have
No
panned up
feelings at
with
all.
her shirt, so we didn't actually see her in the bra. It was just like you see the like, and then
See, now
it
that's some
comes off.
class. That's some
then it
class.
goes
Off
away
to
in the
a
wind,
off to a
signifying her-
picture.
Yeah,
in
it's,
the
it
distance.
was just
Giant
weird
Batman.
seeing Batgirl in a bra straddling Batman.
Yes.
Like,
You're right.
I
It
mean,
is weird,
it's,
man.
if
is
it makes
super
sense
weird.
to the story, whatever. Like I don't care about.
It
but
doesn't though.
But it was just super weird and kind of uncomfortable. Like this is not.
I love how Bruce Timm quotes. Okay, I love Bruce Timm. Look, I
Absolutely.
mean, he's responsible, like almost directly for a Batman the Animated Series. He co-created that with Eric Radomski and everything. But I mean, he's a really driving force behind these animated movies and the original animated universe and stuff. And when he's talking about this relationship, he says that. Well, you know, even going back as far as the Adam West show, you can see like little tension. I'm like, if you take the Adam West show, at any point, seriously, there is something wrong. Is he going senile? Is Bruce going a little off the rails? I love you, Bruce. What are you doing, man? No, no.
That's his ship. We have to respect
I don't
his
care.
ship.
I don't respect that ship. I'll sink that ship in the ocean.
Yeah,
okay,
sink it.
that's not gonna
Sink
happen.
that ship. I hate that ship so much.
Yeah,
rage
we
right
got to
now.
move on
So
here.
much
We're running out
rage.
of time, folks. I wanted to talk about, real quick, you want to
Yeah.
talk about the musical number?
Yay!
All right, let's talk about that.
You
We're-
guys know I love my
my
musical
God.
numbers.
We'll
I'm all
go-
about them.
We'll go in general the adaptation of the Killing
Yeah.
Joke book into this, and that was part of it.
It was the one
So,
thing
what'd
in
you
it
think?
that I think I was most looking forward to. I
Okay.
think everything else I had a very clear picture in my head, shooting of Barbara, the whole like everything else was like the freak show, circusy, sideshow thing.
yeah.
Like I kind of everything was
Expected
spot
that.
on.
Yeah.
Everything was exactly how I pictured, and then I was like, okay, musical number, blow me away, and it did.
It
It
did.
was spot on. It was great.
So-
Sounded so good.
Yeah.
It
was
did.
good
They
too.
made
Yeah.
a great choice with the music because it could have been easy for them to take it like super creepy carnival and like,
Yeah.
and it was just like it was a Broadway
it was a-
number,
Exactly,
which
yeah.
is perfect. That's exactly what the Joker would have done. Like just put a Broadway number on to Barbara Gordon's limp, bleeding body.
Yeah. It made sense for sure.
Yeah,
It did. It was
had a
great.
great effect too. You know, it worked with that effect, and I thought it was fantastic. And it was so interesting to hear Mark Hamill Joker, the Joker, singing a Broadway show tune.
It was weird.
And it was creepy.
But it was weird, creepy, good.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
I
good.
loved it.
I
It made
thought it was
Without trying
awesome.
too hard to be creepy.
Yeah.
Right.
It totally fit with the story, which is incredibly strange because of how dark this story is. Then you throw in
But that's
a
why it's
spunky
so
The
creepy.
musical
juxtaposition
number.
of the like musical number with the
Bryan,
like tone.
What is
Yeah.
actually
Weird.
happening.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the music in general. So we talked about this musical number, but the music, okay, they did like a little documentary after the movie, like in theaters about it.
Right.
I think that this is a larger problem in general. It doesn't happen in all movies, but the theme is getting lost in movie music now. Like, the reason why themes are so strong and powerful is because you can distort them in different moments to enhance a scene and enhance emotion and stuff. And in this, they're talking about how much, it's music to madness and everything. I'm like, it's good quality music, I could tell, but like you didn't give anybody a discernible theme. Like, the theme's in here, but you can't, it's too subtle, we can't hear
Right,
anything.
right.
I'm not saying full on go give the Joker the animated series thing, the you don't have to do that. But you can give him something specific to the movie. This is a 90-minute movie or
Like
something.
Mask
right?
of the Phantasm.
Right.
What up?
Right.
But something.
That's what I'm talking about.
Something. I think that's the loss of Shirley Walker with these animated projects, that she's not around anymore, and she really got it, I think. The guys they get to do these tracks usually just don't. Nothing really connects anymore. We need some themes back. You can make new themes, but put a theme in there that we all recognize. And then, like I'm talking about, in different scenes, you distort it and enhance the scene. That was not present in this, and I was a little disappointed in the music, and I was a little, disappointed in the ending, talking about how much effort was put into it. And I was like, I can tell that the skill is there, but
Right.
there's no emotional connection to the music. That could have made this so much better, easily, and it didn't. But that's just my rant on the music. In general, the adaptation of Killing Joke, this is my favorite book. Like, pretty much comic book period. I love The Killing Joke since I read it, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something. So I had high hopes like everyone else did going into this. But the actual adaptation from book to screen, like, it's good, but there's scenes that definitely hit the bullseye, absolutely. But then it just seems like it's missing something. And I thought maybe that's the music, maybe it just wasn't, that was the missing thing in there that didn't elevate it. I don't know what it was, but it felt like something was missing. I don't know what it was. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's still a good adaptation. I could still see they tried really hard to really accurately do this, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the music, but if not, I don't know. I'm gonna have to rewatch it a couple more times before I decide that. The ending though was perfect. The ending with them outside,
yes.
that was nailed.
I was wondering how
Oh
they're
my
gonna do
gosh.
that. I thought
Perfect.
it was fantastic.
Well,
Loved
and
it.
I like that they kind of addressed the fan canon of Batman killing the
Killing him?
Joker
Yeah.
because he laughed longer than the Joker did, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this it?
Yeah.
Are they hinting that this really happened?
Right.
Yes.
Conroy laughing is great. By the
It
way.
was almost terrifying because
Yeah.
it's so weird to hear him laugh because we never hear that in this animated series, Justice League, anything.
Yeah.
We don't hear him laugh, and then he's laughing almost maniacally, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's kind of creepy.
It is.
Batman laughing is not awesome.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome to see, but it's like, wow, that's
right.
It made me
intense.
believe that he could have snapped at that moment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
really
Right.
did kill
Right.
the Joker.
Yeah.
To the abyss.
Right. Stepped into the abyss.
Quickly, any other adaptation points from book to screen that you guys?
I loved
thoughts
Commissioner
on?
Gordon was a really, really
Yeah.
great character in this adaptation of it. He was a lot more relatable. Like Batman was like almost more unhinged, kind of like you get
Yeah,
like this
right.
really like brutal Batman in this. I would say like very like hard. And Commissioner Gordon was so relatable and just you felt so bad for him. And Joker's like, "Yep, drove him mad." And he's like, "Yeah, go bring him to prison. I'm fine."
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I did think that they could
That was
have.
a little sudden.
Yeah, it was a little too quick.
I felt like it felt just like the book. to
Yeah,
me.
it did. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it
that
flowed
no.
just. It
I
flowed
disagree with that.
perfectly with
Okay.
the book.
I
I
think
liked
that
it.
there was definitely some time in between
That needed-
Batman going there. He kind of is kind of out of it for a couple seconds at least, and then he kind of snaps out like, no, you got to bring him in by the book. This in the movie it was like he just goes over to him like, oh my God, Barbara, go get him by the book. It's just like really quick, and I was like, that would not happen in real life. It would not happen to anybody. They would be
I
out
mean,
of
now
it
it's a
for
comic
little
book,
bit.
though, but
I know, but we're talking about how someone emotionally reacts to being like morally objectified, which is the point of the book, and that was really fast. But the character
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon, I agree, was cool. Just that was way too quick of a snap.
I
for me.
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more.
Right. We're really running out of time, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on. The controversy in the book is that they portray Barbara as just a victim, and she's a story device in this, which she kind of is. That's true. What were your guys' thoughts on the original the portrayal of Barbara in this, and her, losing her legs and everything? Like,
Well,
was
she's
that-
the only female character in it, and
Right.
she's literally only used for plot device. That's
That's
I
true.
mean, that's like
Yes.
kind of not really arguable. That's
Right.
just what
Well,
she is
that's
in it.
fact.
But
Yeah.
it's cool because now
That's
they gave
fact.
her a really deep prologue in this, where it makes her a lot more relatable.
better.
And
Yeah.
Right, and the movie almost made me more mad
If
about
anything,
that.
it highlights the
because-
problems that like people could potentially have with Barbara Gordon and her portrayal in Killing Joke. I think it's I think it's super edgy. I think it's really cool, and she ends up being like this badass oracle. So
I
like,
loved how it turned out for
I
her.
like how it turned out for her.
Right.
I mean, you can't really argue anything other than just saying she's used to cripple. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
like what
I
they
mean,
use her for. But
Right.
when
in
I
the
first-
movie, they made it so much worse.
They made it
Right.
worse, exactly, because they just made her even more helpless, and like all her motivation was coming from like, I just want to impress Batman.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
yoga
Like, I just
teacher.
want to be
My
with
yoga
him.
teacher. Oh my
Well,
god.
see, like in
It
the
made it
book,
worse.
like yeah, the user is a victim, but I didn't have a problem with it because the fact that we see these superheroes and they're fighting and all this stuff and they're dodging bullets and all this and that, but and they feel almost invincible when they're
Right.
in their costume. When they're out of it,
kinda
she's she's a regular human, and then that's just how quick this stuff can happen in real life. It doesn't have to be
Right,
the Joker.
sure.
You can just get shot by someone and you don't even know it. Like the fact she opens the door and he's got the gun and he sticks it to her stomach and he pulls the trigger. That's it. She's a victim,
Yeah.
and that could happen to anybody. That could happen to Batman, and he's Batman.
But
so
it
But they wouldn't.
doesn't.
But they
It
wouldn't do
doesn't.
it.
But it doesn't.
it doesn't,
Right.
but it's like, the user is a victim, but I think it works well, and it shows how fragile they are. Yeah, they're superheroes, but they're still humans.
I get the point
And
of it. I
something-
think
I think it works well, and I don't think there's any badness to it because it's like we're showing how fragile we are. I mean,
Right.
she's a woman, but she's still a
How fragile
human.
we are.
right.
Don't
Let's not go there. We're running out of
Don't go
time.
there.
Another time, children. Another
Yeah,
time.
I mean, maybe it's because I already knew the Barbara Gordon character before this, but it didn't affect me that much when I was reading it. Like, oh, she's a woman victim, but I knew Batgirl so well before that. This was just like another chapter of her becoming Oracle. So I was like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
that's-
she's a strong
that
character,
sucks.
so the fact that she's a victim in one time doesn't
Right, and this was actually part of
define her
the
personality.
main Batman run. This wasn't like it was later released as a standalone
Right.
book, but this was part of the main Batman line. So that you can argue that she was built up before this in
Absolutely.
other
Right.
stories. We have to wrap this up. I'm sorry, I would have talked for another half hour, but we have to wrap this up, folks. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/awesomecomicshow. Where can we find your social medias? Let's hurry.
Twitter, Facebook, same place as always.
Okay.
Okay,
Heather?
you can find me on Twitter at Heather Roos and Instagram at HRoos.
H. Roos.
Facebook.com/awesomeporter.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at awesome_Walter. And until next week, for all these lovely folks here, let us know what you thought of the movie below. I'm sure you guys have, so let us know about the discussion. Let's keep the discussion going. Okay, I'm Walter Benezek. These guys are awesome. We'll see you next week on the next page. Bye!